Hello everyone, and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. This time I'm going to be using my Darkrai Absol deck. As you can see, I've started off with a Mewtwo. My opponent mulliganed a few times, but it looks like they're playing a Team Plasma deck. They're going to end me, but they did start off with a Plasma Kyurem and have a Water Energy attached. So if they can get a Chorus Machine, they're going to get off an attack on turn 1. But unfortunately, I see two Deoxys come down, but fortunately he doesn't attack, and he puts down a Frozen City, which I'm not a big fan of because I do run non-EXs in this deck, quite a few actually. The only EX I really run is Absol, and that normally doesn't, I don't know, cut it in terms of making an effective attacker once your opponent knows you're playing it. So I'm just going to take the hit and attack with Mewtwo with X-Ball, attaching the DCE and Dark Patching onto a bench Darkrai for the turn. And my opponent, I managed to put asleep with a Hypnotoxic Laser. So he can't do anything his turn. He passes. I'm going to hammer off his DCE and X-Ball again, just attach another energy to Darkrai. And hopefully I can keep this going. I get another hammer, but this one's a Tails, so I can't really do anything, and I don't have Sableye yet. But with that X-Ball, I managed to knock out his Keldeo, and I take the prize lead, which is important in this kind of deck. But my opponent's going to computer search, probably for a supporter. My guess would be a Juniper, and let's see where he goes from here. I see him discarding, it looks like an Absol in the process, but actually he goes for an N and ends me, which was good because I had a fairly terrible hand outside of the hammers. Then I look at my opponent's discard pile, and he actually has Umbreons in the discard pile, not Absols, and he puts down 2 Eevees. So it's not a traditional Plasma deck, in the sense that it doesn't have just basic Pokemon, and it has the Umbreon because it gives all your Plasma Pokemon, I believe, plus 20 hit points, and the ability stacks, so it's pretty useful. Although Eevee's pretty hard to deal with in the current format because it gets knocked out quite a bit with only 60 HP, and it's weak to fighting, which is not good right now. So my opponent ends his turn. He isn't able to attack, but now I get the opportunity to start attacking with Darkrai. I of course got rid of his Frozen City and put down a Veer Bank just to avoid taking damage for just attaching energy. It causes 20 damage for each basic energy or energy in general that you attach to your non-Team Plasma Pokemon. So now my opponent's going to use Team Plasma Ball, undoubtedly for an Umbreon if he still has any left in his deck. Hopefully he doesn't, because that will make all of his Pokemon that much harder to knock out. Normally, I don't really see Team Plasma decks run evolutions, but when they do, they have been the EV line, and usually going for Umbreon or Leafeon. So here my opponent brings out Umbreon. At least he gets it, and he's going to evolve it and gives plus 20 to everything except his EV. And he finally gets a Chorus Machine, and I guess he's going to be able to attach to his Plasma Kyurem, although he instead chooses to attach to his bench Deoxys, which is probably be in response to my Mewtwo, quite honestly. He can knock it out quickly because it's already damaged, and it has a DCE on it. And then my opponent chooses to Chorus. Maybe he'll hit another Umbreon, making his Pokemon that much harder to knock out, but instead he actually hits a Leafeon, which is also a really neat attacker. For 1 energy, it does 20 plus 20 for each energy on your opponent's side of the field, which is quite devastating late game. So my opponent does attack me with a Frost Spear, but I do hit a Crushing Hammer and just get rid of his energy. Hit a Sableye, put it on the bench. I'm going to Dark Patch, I think, to one of those guys. but I guess I'm debating whether or not to attack the active or catcher up something else. I don't really want to deal with Umbreon giving everything plus 20, so if I just take it out of the running right now, that should be good. And I hit heads on another hammer. I'm going to discard one of the water energies off of Kyurem, hopefully just to slow him down further. I'm going to just attach to Sableye. I should have Dark Patched actually, but I do Night Spear for the knockout and hit his benched Kyurem. So no more plus 20 on his side of the board, which should make my job a little bit easier, and I can take a 3 prize lead. So he's going to promote his damaged Plasma Kyurem. He has another one on the bench, but he attaches a Prism Energies, so that probably means he's going to attack with it, and he gets a Skyla. So I'm not sure what he's pulling here, but he goes for a Colress Machine, and he's going to Colress Machine to his Plasma Kyurem, so that means he'll be able to get the knockout. And with that, most of the energy has been wiped off my field. Although I did get a Darkrai off my prizes, I do have a Dark Energy, and I do have a Dark Patch. Thankfully, I did not use it that last turn, as I was just thinking I was going to. But I do promote Mewtwo up to the active. It has a DCE, so I'll be able to attack. I'm going to use, I think, that Super Rod just so I can Bianca for more cards. And I use Bianca, and I get my Absol. So hopefully he loads up his bench with one more, and I'll be able to wreck his side of the field. So right now I'm just going to X-Ball and get the knockout. So now I'm down to only 2 prizes remaining, and my opponent has 4. But he promotes a Leafeon, and I have a lot of energies on my side of the field. I think I have 4, so he can knock something out depending if he has a catcher or if he wants to take something else out. I think he might be able to take Mewtwo out. It already has 50 damage. Yeah, because Deoxys will add to his attack power, so yeah, Mewtwo will go down if he wants to knock that out. He's going to Colress Machine onto his bench Deoxys and end me down to 2 cards. Not the best 2 to pull, but I did get an energy so I can attach to my benched Darkrai and attack next turn. So instead he decides to attack me with Deoxys and knock me out. So here we're now even on the prize game. Each has 2. So I just really need to knock something out quickly, because if he sends Leafeon up again, he just catcher up Keldeo and knock me out. So I'm going to hit Deoxys with Hypnotoxic. He doesn't fall asleep, so that means he's going to be able to retreat it, and he attaches to Leafeon. He's going to promote it undoubtedly. Hopefully he does not have the catcher to get rid of Keldeo. And I'm just showing you the card right here. Energy Crush is the attack for one colorless energy, can do massive amounts of damage. So it looks like my opponent's going to Colress, this time for 7. And let's see if he hits what he needed. So he puts down another Eevee. Not quite sure why he's doing that at this point in the game. It's just catcher bait, essentially. Unless he has other Umbreons or Leafeons left in his deck. But he does indeed have the catcher, and he's going to catcher up Keldeo, so that means he's going to retreat and hit me with Energy Crush for the knockout, since I am weak to grass. So, yep, thank you for watching, guys.